Can I borrow your hairbrush?
Beatles.
We on?
Yep.
Okay, this is a very historic moment. Why? Because gentlemen who made history a long time ago are together again. We're talking about 50 years, I think, or almost 50 years that they haven't seen each other. And we are so fortunate here in Boomer's Banquet that we've gathered them up. Of course, we owe it a lot to the former boss, Rudy Velez, but we'll introduce him a little later on. I'm Joy Rider. I'm George Boone now. Joy Rider was my first radio name back in 1971. Welcome to Boomer's Banquet. And with me is, of course, Bob Novales. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, George. And pardon the different layout. Ibang dating natin ngayon. Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Tamo, inumpisahan ko na ng Can You Hear Me because we're going to go a lot of Can You Hear Me today.
Oh, right.
Yan. Our guests, maraming sila. So we decided to go Zoom into StreamYard. And I am the only one here who's a fan, originally a fan, na hindi nagtrabaho dun sa DZBM. Okay? I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about 70s now. 70s yung age, hindi yung music.
Yep.
Okay, so we welcome my friends na pinakikinggan ko dati pa sa DZBM. Welcome, gentlemen. Lahat kayo, welcome.
And of course, before anything else, we'd like to thank Design Makati for making our t-shirts, Boomer's Banquet. Thank you so much. Roy Ordiales, right? Okay,
Yes.
Let's get down to business. Everybody's here. I don't see Chito Rimando yet. But anyway, almost everyone is here. Let's start off with the big boss during that time. 1969, when the new DZBM started, right? If I'm not mistaken. Sexy Rudy. Sexy Rudy, can you tell us all about it? And good morning to you.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank you, Joy, for inviting us over and on this gathering. Okay. It all started in 1969 when Jun Villar, the station manager or the owner of the station, appointed me to handle the programming and production of the station. And of course, I started picking the best staff, DJs, Chito. There was Jun Santiago, Gutierrez. Who else? Rosby. Yeah. And we really worked hard to come up with the expectation of the public. And we made it. Kind of made it to the number one spot in no time.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Hey, and thank you for joining us, Rudy. It's really an honor for Boomer's Banquet to have you guys.
What's that sound coming out?
Yeah. Where's that coming from? Can we use headphones, please?
There's someone just watching a movie, I think, nasa background and can be picked up. Yan.
Oh. Nasa loob pala ng Ideal Theater, you know.
Ringtone pala ni Raffy.
Ayun. Okay, let's talk to I guess ito yung yung henchman ni Rudy Velez, Jun Santiago. I was a fan of yours from way back. Jun, good morning to you and good evening to you there you're in California, right?
Yes.
You're on mute, Jun. Can you unmute your microphone? There you go. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. It's a privilege, to be around, especially to these people that I haven't seen for a long time. I was so glad and happy when Rudy called me out a week ago, 2 weeks ago, asking me to join this, set up Boomer's Banquet. And it's really a privilege for me to be here with you guys. And so very happy to see everybody, healthy, still good looking, and still have that voice. The most important thing, I was telling Rudy one time, I said, nowadays, radio, if you turn on the radio, no more voice. During our time, it doesn't matter how you look like. It matters how you sound it up.
Mhm.
You know, if you sound good, all right, you talk to your listener, try to give that good ad lib stating that, hey, baby, are you listening?
Furley's is playing.
Yeah. to the sound of
Anyway,
Beethoven.
that's it for now. You know, I'm based right now in California, Fairfield. I've been I'm a real estate broker. Since I migrated here in 1983, I got into real estate right away. I got my broker's license in '87, and at present I'm still doing the same business. And I'm blessed, and I'm so very thankful to God that in spite of everything what's going on in the world right now with the COVID-19, you know, we're still alive and kicking. So thank you, and
Very
God
nice. Thank you, Jun, and welcome to Boomer's Banquet. Of course, one of those pioneers and an idea man of the DZBM, the Big 74 before, is none other than Steve O'Neal. Everybody knows Steve O'Neal. Danee, Steve, hello to you, or Charlie, or whatever your name is.
Hello, hello, hello.
Nasaan si Howard?
Wala pa.
Wala pa rin eh.
Naghahanap
Sineset up pa yung hanger sa bahay.
Tulog pa.
naghahanap pa ng signal yun.
Wala si Howard, saka si Chito.
Chito, right. Oh, no. Welcome back, Steve O'Neal, no? And we're glad you're here with us, no? Si Mike nawala, oh. No? Let's go to ano. Ayun, Mike. Mike was aside from Danee Samonte or Steve O'Neal, Mike Pedero here, who went by the name MacNally, was my first boss in Mareco. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. And kumusta lahat? Yeah, it's really nice to see you guys. It's been quite a long time.
Likewise.
So, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
George, pahingin ng t-shirt.
T-shirt? Sige, papagawa ko para sa'yo. No? Boomers Banquet. At saka ano, sino yung ano, nakikinig sa radyo?
Oo nga.
Para si
yan. Maagang nagka-campaign para sa ano, sa eleksyon.
Parang si Johnny De Leon yung nagsasalita eh. Dundagin mo, baby.
Huwag lang singaw mo. Okay lang.
Okay. Next, Jun was saying something about, the voices before. No, it wasn't really the faces. Ito, may voice na may face pa. Baby John. Ronnie De Asis, good morning.
Hey, hi there. Good morning. Gandang umaga po.
Ay, sa boses pa lang.
Hi there. Hi, Mike. Bambi.
Buisit, ang ganda pa rin ng boses.
Kumusta, Ron?
Doing okay. Safe.
Yeah.
Being safe. Trying to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Nasa Amerika ka, no? You're in the States?
Yeah, California then.
Ah.
About south of San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh.
Hollister.
Yeah. Nice.
Sarap, no? Thank you. And of course, Ronnie will also be one of our guests in a future episode where we will feature crossover, what DZBM is now, DWBM na, di ba, Ron? So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
so
yeah.
we're going to be
with
featuring
Louis
you
and
again.
Sari.
Yeah, Louis and Sari will be featuring them. And one of those who are very active in the chat group, ever since I contacted Rudy about 3 weeks ago, I think, he started touching base with everyone. All of a sudden, there was a chat group on Messenger, which was on 24/7, to the point that I had to turn off my notifications because I couldn't sleep anymore. Since some of them are in the U.S., some Tony's in London, and everybody keeps messaging each other every hour of the day. Anyway, one of those who really worked hard to promote this, of course, with his videos and everything, his posts, Aison. Alex, good morning.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, Alex.
Yep, I'm glad to be joining you guys after all these years, almost half a century. We all look different, but we still have a lot of fun. Yep, a lot of fun.
Lot of fun.
So yeah, it was it was nice to be making that video, looking at all your pictures and and the things you guys do. I stole a lot of your pictures. I'd like to apologize for making those videos. Luckily, I was able to get some of your early shots and your newer shots. Sana nagustuhan nyo. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you
Good
very
work.
much.
Yeah,
Very good work.
It's Aison now. It's Aison. Sounds better.
Alex
Really?
Aison.
Alex Aison. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Tapos,
Here's the Ronnie.
tapos pag si Ronnie pa yung nagsasabi, talagang
Oh,
gimbal-gimbal na eh.
Maniniwala ka agad.
Oo.
Yep, I came here like 18 years ago, and worked. I was hired by my uncle, Uncle Sam, and I retired 3 years ago. And ito, banjing, happily retired. So yeah, it's nice to see you guys again.
Alex, you should go back to radio. You still sound really good.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have a lot of respiratory problems, so I wouldn't want to do that anymore. Anyway, yeah. Ang ganda na ng mga itsura.
Oo nga.
Para akong Twilight Zone. Kasi some of these guys, I saw them like, 40 years ago, 45. All of a sudden, si Peter, I used to hang around with Peter. We go to RJ climbing the stairs kasi brown out, walang elevator. I remember those days. Si Bambi almost killed me inside his Renault car.
Bambi.
The way he drove. He drove me crazy. Yeah, he drove like a maniac when...
well, he's a maniac, right?
Not sex, huh?
No. Yeah. And Danee, of course, I go a long way with Danee. One of the more recent get-togethers we had was like 3 years ago. Yeah. So si Jun and Ronnie and who else? Meron pa isa sa California, si Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert.
Apat kami dito sa California. Yeah. Day by living one day at a time, as happy as we can.
You know what I love to hear, Danee Samonte. He had a nickname for each and every one of us.
Yep.
And Danee can elaborate on that.
Yeah,
And he had a name for Rudy. He had a name for Reggie. He had a name for me.
Rudy was
And
payong,
Danee-
right?
Super payong.
Super payong.
Bakit tayong?
Danee,
Danee,
payong.
makakasagot nun. Danee.
Pangalan sa kanya yun.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, where's my colleague Reggie Francisco? He's not here.
He's undergoing a medical
Okay.
procedure.
MRI.
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh.
I went on air after Danee every night at
Mhm.
9 o'clock. And when I would come in, Danee would always look up at me and he would call me by my nickname. My nickname was, Mabigat. He called me Bigat. Kasi I was playing heavy stuff at that time.
Yeah.
And I guess, I loved the music that I was playing. And of course, back then, everyone had more hair and everyone had a different ugale, no? But now it's wonderful to see all of you still alive. And I pray that each and every one of you continue to live as long as possible with this COVID, no?
Yep.
So
Thank you.
that's my thought.
Mhm. Very nice. Morrie Jane, of course, right? No? And of course, we have two siblings here. First, he's the earliest to check in today. Raffy Wenceslao. He went by the name Archie Crane. What was your name and Barry meant, Raffy?
The brain.
The brain of. Okay. The brain.
Context, George. Very mint. Kwento mo kung ano yun.
And then si Rudy yun. Si Rudy may
Rudy.
pakananon eh.
Yeah.
Anyway, Raffy, good morning to you. And
Good
thank you
morning.
for joining us, for being an early bird in your underwear earlier.
Okay.
Oh, guess what? I found a way to show the comments.
Good. Okay.
They're showing na. Thank you, Mark Lacson, Cici Abad, Wing Bustamante, Tita Ganda as usual, Mark Lacson, Zach Alvarez, Aaron Santos, si Mati Fernando also, and Vicente Ramirez, Tessa Beauchamp. Says hello to Alex and Rudy. Yun. We're showing the comments on the screen on our broadcast, our transmission. So good.
All right. Very good. Okay, so Raffy.
Oh, by the way, George, sino
Yep.
ba? I remember an old BM jingle. Sino sa kanila yung umabot doon? Yung, this is the greatest moment, BM, for the brightest mood, BM. That's a really old jingle. Sino sa kanila yung umabot doon? Hindi pa yung pop yata nun.
Si Danee siguro.
Can't recall that.
For
Diba?
the best in music, DZBM.
Chito.
Listener pa lang ako noon. On Villar Record.
Remember your friends
Friends
abroad.
abroad.
Yun,
Yun.
mga ganon, di ba?
Remember your friends abroad.
Oh, yun.
70s yun.
70s
Hindi.
yun eh.
Baka earlier.
60s pa yun.
60s pa yun. Even before Big 74 yun eh.
70s
dapat.
tayo na.
Hanggang ba?
Hindi ba Rondalia pa yung tumutugtog yata doon? Parang
Oo. Tapos
Leopoldo Silos yata yun.
isa pang younger brother of Raffy, Federico Wenceslao. Peewee Wenceslao, of course. Peewee, good morning.
Buong buo eh, no? Yeah, good morning, everyone. It's nice to see all of you looking good, looking as old as I am. Well, what can I say? You know, you guys all were ahead of me. I'm like one of the juniors actually. I can say that it's really an honor to be with you again, guys, in this Zoom broadcast. The very first thought that came into my mind when I was invited, this will really be a good chance for me to say thanks to my what do we call him? He's my father in radio. At least that's how I consider him, Rudy Velez.
Yep.
He actually made me into what I am in radio. He had the patience to sit with me and point out you have good points. You can do it. He made me write scripts with Drive 25, if you remember, the top 25 songs of Marco then, and I made a program out of it. And then, after about a couple of weeks, I think, and one summer vacation with DJ, and the rest is history. So now I'm with you guys, and it feels good.
Very nice. Hey, why is Richie Valens is no, not Richie Valens, Richie Haven is singing in the background, Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hala ko may nanonood lang ng sine.
Yeah. And then, of course, etong maganda, no? Believe it or not, 4 of us here were classmates, batchmates in one high school way back up to 1970. Let's start off with a good friend of mine. My parents were their godparents in their wedding. Bert De Leon, Robert, they were practically our neighbors before. Robert, good morning.
Good evening here in California.
Good evening. Good morning.
And good morning in Manila.
Uh-huh.
How's everybody doing?
Great, great.
Good, thank you.
Fine.
Okay, George was right. We were 4 classmates. We all came from Lourdes School High School. And I think this thing about being a DJ always started by Peter Molina.
Yes.
He's a very good friend of mine. He's almost like my brother. And Peter, you don't know. I mean, when you became a DJ, if you still remember my dad, my dad was always telling me, "How come you don't like to become like Peter?" He's very successful.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, but actually that was what happened. The summertime, I attempted to go on audition for DZLM, and luckily I passed. And my first radio name was Brown Pepper.
Right.
Then all of a sudden I moved to BM. Rudy gave me the name Robert Stone.
Robert Stone, yeah.
Stuck to my identity until I die, Even my classmates in Ateneo call me Bato because of that. And then we had another moniker I think we adapted some American names to sound like to sound like Knoxers. Really, I was called Larry Hall, and that kept on for about a couple of years until I moved to DWKW with Bingo Lacson,
Bambi.
Howard Medina, Vic Salta, Ricky Dizon, and Bambi Fonacier. Radio was truly a very important part of my life. Even I think I spent about a good 15 years being a radio man. And now that I'm almost hitting my 70s, I still recall the fun days. It was glorious, man. I'm telling you.
Very nice. You know, as a matter of fact, I remember that was summer, Bert. You came over to my place, what you always do anyway, and you asked me some information about Chicago and stuff because I had a sound system that time. My dad just gave me a sound system, and I asked you why, and you said you wanted to be a DJ, and I got shocked. You were the class president and everything, and you wanted to be a DJ, and you told me Peter was there already. So I told myself maybe I should follow Robert one of these days, and that's what happened. Ricky, of course, went first, and then I followed suit after you guys. You were my probably my role models that time. That's why I got into radio too. Thank you for that.
Remember, Peter was the one who started it all.
Yes, Peter St. John.
Peter.
And of course, everybody knew him also as Blue Alvin. Good morning and good more night to you, Peter. Welcome.
It's good to see everybody. I do apologize for that influence. So no, but you guys did great, and of course we have our the inspiration, of course, not to be forgotten, would be people like Mike Pedero. I see. Is that Mike right there?
Yeah, that's Mike. Right.
It says Tracks Acoustics.
Yeah, that's Mike.
Hey, Mike. Good to see you. And, of course, Rudy, Baby John, Danee. That's Ronnie De Asis, right?
Yep. Yeah. RDA. Right.
Where's Ron?
There
right
he
here,
is.
Peter.
Unbelievable.
Hey, man.
Ron. Yeah, man.
Nice to see you.
Talk about our. Yeah, good to see you. I'm not going to talk about a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's great to see you.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, you read between the lines. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna open. There's too much. It's life's too short. And
This guy Peter is not just a great DJ. He's a great singer. There was a time that he just came up with the guitar and he started singing "What's Your Name" by
What's
Peter,
your name?
Paul, and Mary.
Right.
Yeah, that's Peter. Ever since I always associated that song with Peter, and thanks for that. And until now, that song is still being played.
Right.
All because you introduced me to that song.
May I come in with this message from Willie Inong? You know him as Hillbilly Willie.
Hillbilly Willie.
Hey, Hillbilly Willie.
High fives, Boomers Banquet. This has got to be the biggest and most illustrious assembly of pop radio heroes. Congrats. And Jonathan Hobson, another colleague of ours. I'm watching. Hi, Danee, Ricky, Mike, and cousin Ronnie De Asis.
All right.
May I say
Very good.
something?
Yeah.
Right now, a schoolmate from Jasm's is watching all the way in New York. Corito. She's now Maria Faingold. And she wants to say hello to my brother Peewee kasi sila mag-batchmate. Corito! Hi. Thank you.
Hello, Corito. Okay, another classmate of ours, Ricky Dizon, Randy McDaniel,
Hey.
whatever.
Randy Daniels.
Randy
Randy
Daniels.
Daniels.
More
Right.
night to everybody. I guess, more or less everyone knows how we got into each other in radio, but let me just give a little trivia about my encounter with the members of this batch outside of radio. This was Ronnie, Baby John, elementary. We were eating in the cafeteria. He was wearing short pants. Always.
Still am.
Okay.
Short pants.
And of course, George already told you about the four of us being in the same school. And right at that time, I guess you could already see that all four of us were interested in music. We kept on involving ourselves with everything that has to do with shows on the high school stage. Most especially Peter and Robert, who were like I said before, were playing in a band. George played a lot of music, and I brought in a lot of records. On my own. Nico, remember the most kind of things that we used to play on the public set on the PA system quadrant. That's what we do there. And then
That's the person who's playing the.
after DZBM, I was working with Mike with some of the programs we did for television when I was already working for television. Some of the videos that you heard on 1913 done in collaboration with Mike in his track studio. That's how it was. But as far as it became a sponsor, and I got it.
Whoever is playing that background melody.
Excuse me.
I think it's my brother's neighbor. He's talking with the neighbor now.
Okay. And then he finally brought me into the sign-on slot, the bright side. It was very slot on radio because I was going head to head with primetime AM, which is dominated by Filipino news shows like the one done by Johnny De Leon. I couldn't get a momo, so I was something very heavy. But then again, I guess looking at this batch now, looking at the batch that succeeded because of how different each of us are with each other and blending into something that is unified. I don't consider, or at least some of us, most of us, the big voices, the big baritones of radio. We were not that, but we sounded young, we sounded vibrant, and we made it.
Okay.
Hey, Ricky, remember that project that we did, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I produced a radio commercial for the Stevie Wonder album. Stevie Wonder, and I got Ronnie to voice it for me. It was a new Stevie Wonder wasn't doing albums for years, and when he came on again with another album, I came up with a TV spot, a radio spot. Ronnie was voicing it, and he only did 2 lines. It's almost finished, and then I just spliced in all the songs in the album, and then he ended it with Stevie Wonder. It's almost finished. And then the commercial came. I know Songs in the Key of Life.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Coming on, and then Ronnie coming back and said, "Songs in the Key of Life." Stevie Wonder. Now it's finished.
No, I remember that. That was a great one. That's a great one.
That was a
That
great
was
Yeah,
good
it was a
job.
funny look. It was a funny looking album too. Do you remember that? It was a double album, and then it had a 45 inside. That's a funny looking album. Yeah,
Which was a 33 actually.
a 33.
A small 33.
A small 30. Oh, that was a small 33. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Hey, by the way, Zach Alvarez says, "Good morning to all DZBM DJs. Do you remember the jingles? It's on the internet, DZBM/PAMS. PAMS produced the jingles of DZBM before, not Pepper and Tanner.
Oh, Pam. Pam.
PAMS, right.
George Louis Villar is asking, were you able to get in touch with Helen Vidal?
No, we couldn't. Rudy, were you able to get in touch with her?
No. Yeah, I tried my best. In fact, I've been using several research machines. I couldn't find her.
You couldn't find her.
Rudy, her last name is Hills. Hills.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah, she got married to this American serviceman, Filipino guy.
Oh.
Helen Hills.
And speaking of which, Bambi, Fonacier, Lee J. Michaels, what you might call or who you might call the every female during those times was so in love with Bambi Fonacier.
Hey, Howard.
First of all, may I remind you, my wife is listening in the other room. Okay?
I was just kidding.
That's why I know you're gonna say
Hey
that.
Beth, I was just kidding.
I'm so listening.
Bambi, hindi ba ikaw yung crush ng bayan? Original.
Patay na si Bambi! Patay!
Excuse me.
Hindi ka na mabiro.
Walang biro eh. Anyway, I'm happily married.
Walang biro-biro sa mga asawa eh.
Oo nga.
Wala. Siniseryoso nila lahat yan.
Makuha ka sa tingin.
Ay daw sabi ni Kylie, anak mo yun. Hello from Vancouver.
Ayun. Si Bambi is here. Oh, of course, Chito. Hello, Chito. Good morning.
I saw Howard.
Yeah.
There's Howard.
Si Long, oh, nasa bubong.
Hey, long call. You're late.
Yeah, always late. I was watching you guys. Puro kayo Amerikano.
Morning, Howard. How's the Long? How's Long Tol?
Ito, matanda na po.
Pwede ba akong, wala pa yung 2 minutes ko eh.
Oo nga eh. Baka pinapamute ka na ni Beth eh. Sabi mo lang.
Kasi inumpisa rin. Binanggit ko asawa.
Hindi. Mag-acknowledge lang ako ng mga thank you.
Okay.
1 minute lang, Howard. Okay?
No problem.
No, okay. First, I'd like to thank the best years of my life, actually, besides having a family, is being with BM. Really very nice, very memorable. Okay? I'd like to thank Steve O'Neill. Steve O'Neill was the first one who trained me, right? And I really thank him a lot. And then Rudy came in, and then Rudy was, guided me and everything like that. And then sila Jun Santiago. See, Howard, actually, I think I was in high school when I was listening to Howard. Midnight ba yun? No, midnight.
Hoy!
Mo that?
Yeah. 9 to midnight.
Yeah. I think you were one of my inspirations. Sabi ko, ang ganda ng boses nito. Guwapo kaya to.
Bolero.
Pero that started because when I was young, I really loved music. I think Danee knows this, and Rudy knows this, that I just came back from the States that time as an exchange student. I had so many records na medyo a little bit, siguro 1 month advance sa Mareco. So siguro kaya pinagbigyan ako ni Danee Samonte. Kaya, ite-train kita. Iwan mo lang yung mga records mo rito. Which is good. But anyway, also, si Morrie Jane. Morrie, thanks for being the first and only guy, all right, who drugged me. Hindi ako nagda-drugs, hindi ba yung uppers ba yun? Uppers? I was going...
Ayos.
He was 9 to 12.
Tayo lang naman nandito eh.
I think that time I was at midnight. He said, "Oh, Bambi, you look so tired. You try this. You're gonna be really feeling good." I took it. I could have gone 24 hours, really. Ganun pala yun when you're high, But thanks, Morrie, you kept me awake. It was really fun. And sila Ricky, sila Robert, si Jun Santiago. It's nice to see you guys again. Si Mike, Pedero, how are you? And Baby John, the Wenceslao brothers. It's really nice to be here. Really, very, very nice to see you guys. And before I close, I praise God, thank God. I had a medical condition 8 months ago. I think it almost snuffed my life, I thought. But then it's a blessing. I'm okay now.
Thank God.
I'm okay.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. It's nice to be here. Peter, I remember you, Peter, WKFM.
Yeah.
RJ.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
It's good to see. It's good to see you're well.
Good to see you,
Isa,
Bambi.
isa na lang. Mike, kung natatandaan mo to, Mike. Andiyan ka ba, Mike?
Oh,
Yun,
yun,
okay.
May halaman
I
ka.
remember
Mike's
Mike.
there. There's Mike. Mike.
Yeah. One last story na lang. I think I was gonna sell my car at that time. And Mike
Ano,
was,
Velez?
I think, hindi, yung
It's a
escort.
green
yata.
escort. Green
Escort?
Yeah. And I had the buyer. That time. Sabi ko sa buyer ko, I'm just gonna finish my, I was just gonna finish my radio show. And then after that, si Mike ang susunod sa akin. Na-late si Mike ng 1 hour. Alam ko, inis ako, pero hindi ako makainis kasi si Mike is a good friend. Kaklase ng kapatid yan. Hindi ko nabenta yung auto. Thank you, Mike. Very nice.
Oh, nagkakasalamatan na rin naman. Can I segue? I have some thanks to grateful for, first of all, Jun Santiago. Jun Santiago was the one, and also Ricky Gonzalez. Remember that, Jun? Siya ang tumanggap sa akin sa DZBM.
RIKG.
He auditioned me on a Saturday, but then I was nervous. And he said, okay, just if you could wait, because that's early morning. If you could wait, we will have a simulcast. So we will be off the air, then you can go then. And I waited. And then like stroke of magic, wala yung nervyos ko. And then, sige, sabi, tomorrow is Sunday morning. There's nobody at the station. You have no reason to be nervous about. So that was my first show on DZBM. And also another thanks to Danee Samonte, Steve O'Neal. He produced me and my brother as the Hard Sell Brothers. And that was quite an experience.
Hard Sell Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. We have something from, believe it or not, Lori Ilustre.
Yeah, Lori.
Who was a member of Hotdog, whom you broke out, diba? Stasyon na to. Hi everyone, great to see you all. I just want to thank you guys for playing our music and turning them to hits. Of course,
Very nice,
Lori is an integral part of the original Hotdog band. And then Erica Dizon Pacheco, anak mo to Ricky. First time to see my dad live.
Yun, no?
Ayun,
And also Scott McLean. Scott McLean is the biggest sound system provider in Hong Kong. He's viewing us right now. Scott, good morning to you. Cheers to you and the whole family. And Anton Israel also. Hello, good morning to you. Good
Thank
show.
you, Anton.
All right, let's go back. Teka, sino pa ba hindi natin nakausap?
Si Mike.
Mike. We gotta
si Mike.
Yeah. Okay. Bukas may microphone ako.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I joined DZBM in mga mid-71, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or 70. I think 70.
71.
But then I left. 71, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
71.
And then, but I had to leave because Emilio was actually asking me to join him already. He was just bought a network, and he wanted me to join his company. And so in 1972, I think I left the station. So although I had a lot of really wonderful memories with DZBM, ayan, ang sparring partner ko si Jun Santiago. Marami kaming kalokohan niya. Masaya.
Alam ko yun.
Alam niyo ba yun?
I was with them once. I think we were riding June's car, and I don't know where we went. We just went all over Manila.
Rumonda.
We ended up at the station. Tapos silang dalawa, may kinukulit sa telepono. Gabi
Isa ka pa.
Ingat.
Ang masaya sa amin ni June, one time, I can't remember their names anymore, but anyway, magkapatid yun eh. So, dinate namin.
Oh, man.
Ngayon, ang balak namin ni June, lasingin sila. What happened was, we went to 1571, and we just kept on ordering beer, no? Kami yung dalawa yun na lasing eh. Kami yung bumagsak. Ang titibay pala. Ang lalakas uminom. Talo kami doon. That was really fun.
And another one. Let me tell something. Alam mo yun, Mike, when we went to this club at Ross Boulevard, right? Remember that? When we went to this club? Yeah, so we ate dinner. We ordered steak. That time, may mga casino pa noon. May mga slot machines and everything. So sabi ko kay Mike, Mike, mauna ka na, lumabas ka na. Ano natin bayaran to?
1, 2, 3.
I was driving my green Beetle at that time, remember? Kasi kung yung dalawang partners in crime at that time. So, sabi ni Mike, loko ka talaga, Jun, oh, kalokohan mo. But anyway, those were the days. And sometimes, pagka nare-recall mo lahat yung mga ginawa, and now with our age, sabi mong ganon hey, did you know that we did those things, But at least we're glad and happy that we're still in one piece. That's all.
That's the most important thing. Teka, Chito Rimando, of course, he's been very, very active also in the chat group. Chito, welcome to Boomer's Banquet. How are you doing?
Where is he?
There.
He's hiding. He's hiding in the shadows.
He's hiding. I can see his forehead. And he's muted.
Turn on his microphone.
Is that him?
Yeah. Chito, can you unmute your mic? Oh, there you
Hey,
go.
Howard, magkwento.
Yon.
Okay. There you go.
Hello.
Ayon! Hey, cool.
Be nice if you could show us your face. Yan.
Back against the light.
Okay. Against the light yung microphone.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
different
Chito.
nowadays, huh?
Yan.
Ay, naku yung audio niya.
Nakahilo. Nakahilo.
Parang may chipmunk na nagmumumog.
Chipmunk eh.
Hindi, yun ang secret voice niya sa radio.
Oh.
Yan si Berry Mint.
Howard, ikaw muna.
Si Howard muna, si Howard.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
It's nice to see everybody. I haven't the one guy that I haven't seen in ages is Peter Molina.
Yun.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, right. Okay. What happened? Am I still on?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, you are
Oh.
still.
Okay.
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
there we go. Okay, lost the video. Anyway, it's very nice to be with you guys. I feel young here, seeing you guys. But remember,
You
I'm
look
the
young.
oldest. I'm the oldest among you guys.
Really? Yeah, sa bagay, high school pa si di ba?
I'm the oldest.
Elementary.
Yeah, I'm 75 years old already,
Really?
and I'm still in radio. I don't know how that happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah, nasa double B ka pa, di ba?
Yeah, right. Tagalog na ako ngayon.
Uh-huh. Nice, no? And you still play music sa double B?
Oh yes. It's a DJ show. I play music, but the musical range is from the late 50s even up to now. So I can play anything.
Uh-huh.
But the main market of my show is seniors and just about to be seniors.
Uh-huh. May mga commitments ka rin doon na number of records played.
Wala.
Exempting mo na lang yun.
78 RPM.
Discounted mo yung Howard doon.
And the difference between then and now is now I play music from devices. I bring my own records, I have my own music on a few devices. So I'm playing from a lot of sources, including my own library, and that's it. So it makes me feel young. It keeps me young.
Akala ko gramophone pa yung dala mo.
Oo nga.
Ikaw ba ba?
So, ngayon, hindi ikaw pwede tok-tok click site, ha?
Wala click site,
Wala click site.
Wala na pera, wala kita eh. Wala na raon. Sarado raon.
Si Chito parang nakakain ng helium, ano?
Oh, naka-on siya eh. Yung mic niya. Anyway.
Yan ba yung mic?
Baka mic ni Chito yan. Ewan.
Parang daga sa mousetrap na binuhusan mo ng mantika.
Kaya uma-adlib lang si Chito ngayon.
Oh man.
Teka, one of the highlights of BM, the Big 74, naging 740. Kaya lang one of the highlights was Berry Mint. Sexy Rudy, can you please explain to us what Berry Mint is or was? No, nagtago, nahiya si Rudy.
Ayan na.
Yan.
Yeah, there was a time na yung mga DJs ko pinapirate isa-isa. So, yeah, wala si Ricky, si Bambi, si Robert.
Ako ata na
Yeah, para medyo disable yung BM. So I had to come up with a concept. And I came up with Berry Mint. Yeah, initially, hindi maintindihan ng mga tao yun. Hindi maintindihan ng mga DJs. Bakit ganun? Bakit mayroong finger, merong brain?
Belly button.
Belly button. Well, actually, na-visualize ko yung concept which later on lumabas yung Voltes 5. Siguro mga 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yung naiisip ko yung bang mga parts ng isang humanoid mag-volt in para maging most powerful radio station. And it clicked. It still made us number one, until 77. Kaya lang, malis na ako noong 77, so hindi ko na ituloy yung concept. Sayang. It could have been huge,
Yeah.
Dumating yung Voltes 5, dumating yung Terminator, tapos yung Star Wars. Yeah. Dapat sana nakasabay kami ron.
But I guess it was providential also because that was the 77 was the great move to FM. No, yun yung mga nag-FM na. Of course, Mike Pedero was responsible for half-killing AM that time when he opened IT. Di ba? Di ba, Mike?
May kasalanan.
Yeah. Mike, what made you think that FM was gonna beat the hell out of AM?
It's either we make it, we are not really fit for broadcasting. So sabi ko, patay. So we tried making it good lang. 77 ngayon.
77 yun eh. TRBC pa nung una, tapos naging RT na nga, di ba? But those were interesting times. Peter was with WK that time.
Baliktad.
KW.
KW.
WKFM.
WKFM. WKFM, right. Kasama sila Andy,
yeah,
right?
But I'd like to comment on Rudy. I mean, that whole concept is with Berry Mint. That's from somebody coming from somebody who I don't consider to be indulging in any psychedelics. That's a pretty wild concept, right? So that's
true. Far out. Very true. Far out nga eh, no?
Yeah, it's far out, man.
I want what you're taking.
Yeah. Can we say these things?
Yeah, of course we can.
Tayo lang nandito eh.
It's just between us girls.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good, Rudy. I mean, that's like I've been or something. Yeah, man.
Hello, Boy at Season. Hello, Bobby Ante. Tuned in.
Oh, Bobby Ante.
Yeah, Bobby Ante. We should sue him. He said, shout out sa mga lolo ko. Sue that guy.
At least si Boyet kuyang lang eh. No?
Oh. Yun ang ano eh. Anyway, teka. Let me see now. Morrie Jane, no, who used to ride a motorbike, who used to have shoulder length hair. I love this. You know, I was wondering what shampoo he was using that time. Ganda nung ano eh.
You gotta wonder what he uses today.
They still call me Johnny Balacuba. But I want to thank Baby John. Baby John, I don't know if you remember, but Baby John, Ronnie, I was fired from DZLM in the morning. I called you and Charlie Brown up.
Hello.
You hired me that same day. I was only at 11 to 2 in the morning as Magic Mushroom at DZUW. I was so happy because one morning I had no job, and then you hired me the same day, and I was on UW. And instead of having just a certain number of records to play that were pressed by Mareco, you had wonderful records there at UW. You had bands I've never played before. You had the band, CCR, everything. And I remember the music so well. So I wanted to thank you. Gave me a job. After that, I left radio for a while, and then they asked me to come back to DZBM, and they gave me the 9 to 12 slot. And I was there until I graduated from UP Mascom. After Mascom, I went to the States, became the most award-winning copywriter on the East Coast in advertising. I have a wall full of Banquet awards. And then I started teaching at Ford University, Mascom, where Kamala Harris, if you know Kamala Harris, she's one of our graduates from Howard. It's an all-black school, and there's a Pinoy, Filipino-American teaching mga itim. So,
great job, Morrie. Great job.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm telling
good.
them,
That's good.
yo, sit down, motherfucker.
We used to write together, didn't we, Morrie?
Yeah, yes we did. Yes we did.
Yeah.
So what trips did you take?
I took all of them. I just dropped them before. That's how I took my tips.
Thank you, Morrie. I will always remember that.
I remember you, Bambi, every day when you came out of Mascom at UP.
Yeah.
You got out of the Mascom and you got into your green Escort, and all the girls were following you around.
Don't say that. His wife is
You gotta
that.
be careful. You gotta be
My wife's
careful. with
coming
this
out of
story.
the room.
You were the best. You were the best looking DJ at DZBM, and you were
Oh,
very,
man.
very, I think, saleable because not only were you very popular, you had a car, and me, I only had a motorcycle.
You know, if I wanted to be more popular, I should have name dropped you. Hey, you want to get high? Don't be with me. Be with Morrie Jane.
Be well, brother. Be well.
Yeah, keep in touch.
Hey, Chito. Chito, can you be with us now? Chito.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Okay, very good.
Hey.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. And I love you guys. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. I missed you so much. Bambi, Howard is my idol. Ayoko
Come on.
Idol din, si Howard. You see, I don't want to grow old, you know. That's why I want to look like Howard all the time. Go, Howard. Yeah, Bambi is very close to me. He's one of my sponsors when I got married. And yeah, we were close. And Ross Mitchell Paco, it's a pity that he's not here with us now. We tried to get in touch with him. But, he's my best man when I got married. But everybody was there. The guys were so close, like family during the days. I came to BM later part of 1969. I think Rudy was there already. Ben Hernandez was the one who took me in. Ben Hernandez was my mentor. Pasensya na kayo guys, medyo mas matanda yung mentor ko eh. So that's how I came into BM. I stayed there until 1971. And then 1971, we had a strike. Kami, all the DJs left BM that time. And I landed on CWS with Rudy and Peter. Peter Molina, how are you?
Hey, Chito. What's up, man?
Mahal na mahal kita, Peter. Tagal na kita hindi nakita.
For wedding.
Hindi ko alam na nasa Chicago ka, pare. Nung nagpunta ako doon, hinahanap ko kung sino, pero wala eh. I'm not that
Hindi na kasing dadating ka, Chito.
As with you at that time. So, yeah, I was with WS until I was with WS. Ben Hernandez comes to the station every after my work. And we go to the different recording studios, recording companies. Okay. That day I was, we went to China. Ben Hernandez used to have this business. Military producing, pare.
Military.
Binibenta ni Ben yun, pare. Ang dami niya sa likod ng Volkswagen niya, pare. So we went to Danee. That time, yung librarian sa ABS-CBN, si Mang Ato was there. Tapos sabi niya, kumusta ka na? Ben, of course, okay kami. Alam niyo, naghahanap sila ng DJ sa QL. Ganun ka, sabi ni Ben. Sino ang kakausapin? Si Dito Balquedra. Sabi ni Ben, tawagan nyo nga si Dito. Tinawagan si Dito. Nag-usap sila. Sabi ni Ben, wala ka na ang problema sa hinahanap mong DJ. Kasi meron na, nandito sa Danee. Kausap na namin si James Rizzo Payola eh.
Kukolekta na, hindi pa mapasok.
Yun ang mentor, si Ben Hernandez. Yun ang mentor. So sabi ni Ben, okay. Dito, sino yan? Si Chito Rimando. Sabi ni Ben, do you know Chito Rimando? Yes, sabi niya dito. Ask him to report tomorrow. Pasok na siya. So that day, next day, mag-report na ako sa QL. Tinawagan ko na lang si Ronnie Quintos. Ronnie, sensya ka na. Kinuha ako dito sa...
Ilang porsyento?
Yun, hindi. Puto pare, wala ka man lang abiso, sabi ni Ronnie. Sensya na pare, he can't do anything. Kamot na lang siya ng ulo, pare. And I was in QL. After that, I stayed there for about 7 months. Bago mag-martial law. Lumipat ako sa sa MB. Kasi dumating naman si Dado Roa at saka si Big Salta. Doon sa QL. Mag-inuman kami sa now. Yun eh. Now restaurant, pari ng araw. So okay, sabi ni Dado at saka siya, kung sabuhin mo dito sa QL. Okay naman ako, kaya lang medyo inaapi ako ni Raffy minsan eh. Sorry, Raffy, mihiya.
Patay na yun, patay na.
Patay na ba si Raffy? Okay, so malangit naman ang kanyang kaluluwa. So, okay. Sabi ni Dado Roa at saka ni Big Salta. Patay na rin Dado Roa. Okay. God bless his soul. So, okay. Sabi ni Dado at saka ni Big. Pare, kung inaapi ka, bukas lumipot ko na sa MB. Bukas lumipat na ako sa MB. Tapos, nasa MB ako, nag-strike na naman kami sa MB. Ang presidente namin, si Big Salta. Kasama namin si Mike Enriquez, si Howard. Pasin niya si Howard. Si Howard, si Big Salta, si Mike, si McNeil, si McRoller.
Patay na rin yun.
Si Mac Roller, si Manny Reyes. So, okay. Nag-martial law. Wala na kaming trabaho. Next day, nagbukas ng BM, pare. Nung nagbukas ulit ng BM, that was 1972 na ba yan? Yeah, 72 na tayo. Late part of 72. Kinuha ulit ako ni Jun Villar. So, okay, back to work. I stayed with BM until 1980.
Wow.
But hindi ko na tapos, sumunod na ako. That's it. I was not in circulation. Dahil prior to leaving BM, marami na kasi ako mga tindahan din ng plaka noon sa mga national bookstore. So, yun ang natutunan ko naman yung negosyo yun kay Bambi.
Odyssey.
Pinuro ni Bambi sa akin kasi si Bambi si Jumart eh. So, okay, I had my record bars. Meron ako sa Broadway Centro. Meron ako sa mga national bookstore. Almost all the national bookstore outlets. So, tumatakbo hanggang medyo nawala na yung plaka. Pumasok ako sa construction business. Prior to mawala yun, construction. So, wala akong contact sa ibang types. I stayed in construction. Ang masaklap dito, guys, I had a stroke. So when I had a stroke, it took me 2 years to recover. Nag-therapy ako for a long period of time. Tapos, balik, back to work again. Okay. Another stroke happened again after a few years. So, body damage. Dalawang stroke. Tapos nagkaroon ako ng 4 na Bell's palsy.
Oh, man.
Well, that's my life now. I'm still here in Manila, trying to survive. And may maliit ako negosyo ngayon. It's called Yellow Brick. Ito yung mga, it's a printing business. Na printing and packaging business. I package yung mga, para sa mga produkto. I do packaging and printing. So and it's nice to be here, guys, to see you again. Okay?
That's good. You look good, man. It's good to see you.
Hey. Mary Gutierrez is with us. Mary?
Really?
Yeah. She has a box. Marie?
Hey, Marie.
Marie boy!
Yeah!
Yun,
Ayan
tumunog. Yun. Mary, camera.
Camera. Ano ba naman?
Ayan.
Allow. Ayun. Allow ba yun? Okay.
Boses.
I've done this several times where somebody always guides me.
Yun.
Hi!
Ayan,
How are you?
How are you?
Wow.
I'm Sandana na. Howard! The other boys, I don't see Howard. I know there's Joy. I don't know if I met Joy.
Everybody knows Howard.
Eh ako, hindi mo ako kilala.
Kasi I was 14 when I started with DZBM. And none of you guys were there yet.
Ano ka, estudyante ka ata sa Holy Spirit no, naka-uniform.
Yeah, I was second year high school.
Nagbo-board yan, naka-uniform na sa Holy Spirit.
Di ba?
Oh my gosh, good to see you guys.
Hindi mo ako kilala. Same here.
Si Bambi,
Si Bambi Fonacier, hindi nagbago, Asan si Bambi?
Di ba?
Hindi nagbago, pero hinahanap ako.
Kilabot pa rin.
Yeah. You're full of shit. But...
Oh my gosh. Kasi lahat kayo.
Why don't you identify each box, Marie?
Yeah.
Bob is my
co-host. Identify each box.
Akala ko nga si Joy girl eh. Yung nakikita ko sa diba? And then Raffy, hindi ko na talaga Maloy, hindi kasi mga bago na kayo eh. So, you're much younger than I am. I don't know.
My name is not Maloy. I'm using my wife's iPad. My name is Morrie Kayanan, Morrie Jane.
Morrie Jane.
Oh, okay.
Diba, sabay kayo humit-hit.
Yeah.
My gosh. Hindi ko
Before I
na
came into LM,
oh.
DCLM when you left.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Right.
Did we get in touch with Helen? No. Midnight Genie? Hindi, no?
In the next few days, siguro.
Helen, I think for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you for a very, very short time.
Oh.
Mari
Okay.
Fer Ramirez says hello. She's watching us now. Fer Ramirez.
Where? Oh my
Hello,
Fer.
Fer.
You.
Fe, hoy.
Hi, Fe.
Hi, friend.
Hi, Fe.
DWOK.
Hindi mo na hindi nyo na-contact? Tilly. Si Lady Love. Ano ba siya? Love.
Si Mila.
Little Miss
Mila
Lover.
Aniceto.
Si Mila Aniceto. Lady
Mila
Love.
Aniceto,
Lady
yes.
Love.
Oh my God.
Little Miss Lover is Tilly Moreno.
Yeah, Tilly Moreno.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right.
Billy, if you're watching.
Yeah.
I think she's in New York.
Tilly's family name now is Singer.
Yeah. Hindi.
Oh, bagay.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Bagay.
Jun Santiago,
Diba?
natatandaan mo?
Oh, Jun Santiago, yes.
Where is he?
Where is he? Where is he?
Actually,
is he
Which
here?
box is this?
Yeah, si Jun hasn't changed. Yung pa rin ng hindi tumanda eh.
Oh.
Naka-mute ka, Jun. You're on mute.
Jun,
Please.
you're mute.
You're
Asa
right,
Jun?
Morrie. Remember me?
Si Jun.
Where's Jun?
Yes.
Yung salamin, yung salamin.
Pwede ba akong mag-anecdote lang tungkol kay Jun?
Tiago! Yun yan.
Jun, ewan ko kung
Sure.
matatandaan mo to. Alam mo naman si Steve O'Neill, hindi mo mapalabiro.
Right.
Every time you go into your into the booth, right, you're ready. Parang bagong ligo ka, hindi ba?
Yeah.
Di ba? Yung talagang fresh na mukha. Sabihin ni Danee Samonte sa'yo, galing ka na naman sa masayan. Masyado marami yung powder mo mukha mo. Danee talaga.
Kuhang-kuha.
Huling-huli.
Huli.
Let me just say hello also to my son. Alam mo, I have my son used to be he actually was born and raised dito, and he graduated communication and journalism at UC Davis, and he was a radio newscaster at KFB in Sacramento, and then a media analyst for the NBA Sacramento Kings for several years. And now he's a well-known podcaster.
Oh,
so,
Podcaster, okay.
Can you follow my footsteps? You know, the things that I haven't done, or, because I left radio from DZBM, I went to DWOK for 3 months. After there, I was hired by DWBL, Mike Enriquez.
Yeah.
I was in. It was James D who recommended me to
May padrino ka, pare ka agad ah. Magkano to?
Bawal ang click site
Ito nakakatawa because sabi sa akin nung owner ng DWBL, DWLL, alright, program tomorrow. Sabi kong ganun ba, I don't even know Mike and Enriquez. I don't care. Sabi kong ganun, go to the station and start at 9 o'clock in the morning. Nagpunta ako ron, and then I introduced myself. I was all ready. Siyempre, I wanted to show off something by Mike, my style, when I was at DZBM. So that's it. That was the start. I've been with DZBM for, 10 years? DWBL, 10 years. And then I was also doing a newscast with Double L for so many years because the sponsor at that time was Then on Cassette. It was one of my accounts. And then, ang sabi nga sa akin ni Mike, siguro may tinatanggap ka dyan. Those were the good old days, which I can't forget. I'm so very grateful. And I would like also to thank, of course, Rudy Velez, because he was the one who hired me from nung namatay si, I don't know, I would like to acknowledge Ricky Manalo.
Yeah.
Remember?
The late Ricky Manalo.
I was
Yeah.
already in this place.
Ricky Manalo was the sign-on man at that time.
Yes.
And then he went to DZQL.
Yeah, I worked with him there. Tsaka si Andy Noroso. Yeah.
Right, sabi sa akin, Jun, hey, you take the slot, transfer ka namin sa DZBM. I was so very happy at that time because from 210 pesos, I was going to earn 300 pesos.
Aumentado, eh?
Oh.
No secrets. And, of course, I was so glad. I was so happy. 9 to 12 yung slot ko. Lagi akong kino-coach ni Rudy. There were one time, meron siyang sinabi sa akin, sabi niya, Jun, mali yung ad-lib mo mali yung pronunciation mo nung talaga. Sabi ko, I'm sorry. Anyway, I learned a lot of good things sa radio and I'll never forget it. And I was so proud also when my son followed my footsteps for a while. Pero hindi na, sabi niya, there's nothing in radio, no money. Sabi niya gano'n.
Wala kasing James D dito eh.
Yun, 30 ka, 210 ka nag-umpisa. Kami right. Award, 150. Nung dumating yung tok-tok ka, may softle, di tok-tok kami, kaya kami kami yung champion dyan. Tanong mo si Howard.
Oy, wala akong alam dyan.
Learn from us, sabi ni Howard.
Yeah, Howard.
Howard,
mo na lahat yung sekreto.
Ikaw ang isa sa mga mentor ko sa radio, pare.
Promotor yan eh.
Iba ibig sabihin niya ng bits and pieces.
Naalala ko si Jun Santiago yung Wednesday in Your Garden.
Ronnie Dizon.
Guess who?
Yung intro ko lagi at that time, right after banggitin yung name ko is yung You're the Reason Why by the
Ebonies.
And then, of course, yung signature disco, which is Sparkling in the Sand.
Mm-hmm. Bakit kaya Sparkling in the Sand? Nasa telepono siguro.
Hindi. I was dating somebody at that time.
Mating somebody?
You're dating somebody in the sand?
Please clarify.
Si Fe may interject. Ramirez. It is now Dr. James D. Pero not medical. At one time he was at the Filipino Chinese Chamber of Commerce. At nandun siya sa tuktok ng Chinese General Hospital as boss.
He's the chairman of the board.
The board, right.
Yeah, he is. Si Jameson, nandun din. Tsaka si Ramon Chueng is the director.
Hey guys.
Chinese.
Magnitude 6.2 earthquake strikes off Davao Occidental. Rappler.
Oh my God.
Up, up.
Ngayon lang?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a question, no? Before BM kasi, I noticed yun, WS, QL, they never used American names, no? Si LBJ, no? Raffy Mejia. Tapos Freddy Dandan, Ronnie Quintos, the Golden Nine, yung mga ganon, no? And then all of a sudden, we encounter Robert Stone, Larry Hall,
Peter St. John,
mga ganon, who was behind that? Rudy?
Randy Samonte started it in DM. He was Steve
O'Neil na agad siya eh.
Steve O'Neil siya eh.
Actually, yung pangalan namin nun.
Charlie Tuna pa yan eh.
Yeah, nagbigay si Danee. I will show you. Ito, audience participation. Binigyan ako ng pamangkin ko. If you can see it. Nakikita nyo ba? John Hardy, Adams, Paul, Chito. I started as Chito R. Tapos John Hardy ako. Tapos naging Adams, Paul ako ng Berry Mint. Tapos naging Mr. Magic pa ako. Ang dami ang pangalan eh. So, well, talagang nung dumating yung kasi si Danee every time he traveled to the US, pagbalik niya, ang daming tapes na dala. So we have to listen to all the tapes. Yung
Ay, may air
ano.
checks.
Air
Tapos
check.
ito, pangalan mo. So siya nagbigay ng mga names namin.
Speaking of Danee, where he dinala niya si Wolfman Jack, di ba? There was a time when Wolfman Jack was introducing us. And now here he is, the Shaggy DJ. At lahat ng DJ. That was the time. Shaggy DJ.
Actually, si Wolfman Juan yun hindi Wolfman Jack.
si Danee palagi ang may kasalanan sa kanila.
Yun.
Magaling yan, pati sa mga promo
Merchandising.
ibang promo ng ibang stasyon, siya rin ay may kasalanan.
Ahente nga ako ni Danee nun sa mga ibang namin ng promo.
Yung KW, si Danee nag-commission nun. Ginawa natin after. Danee pa rin yun.
Si Danee pala yun.
Di ba ano yun? WKBW.
WKB.
The music people.
Luzon.
Pwede ba ako magsabi?
Nasa BM kami nun.
About Danee.
Nasa BM pa si Ricky nun
Okay.
Randy Daniels pa siya
Remember
nun.
this. Kayo ba, nadala na kayo ni Danee ng Goldilocks?
Ay, oo.
Oo. Mother niya.
Dala yung late siya
Nanay niya kasi.
Diba? Yung late si Danee. Pare, huwag ka nang magalit. Ito yung si Mada. Sa Goldilocks, Danee, di ba? Sa pasong mo ba yun? Sa mami mo? Yeah.
You know, Danee Samonte would come in. Very young pa siya noon. He was one of the first ones after me, I think, no? Laging may baon yan. Saging. Basta lagi siyang may baon. Tapos pag naka-board siya, nangunguyakoy siya. Yung gano'n. Gano'n. Nakakatuwa si Danee. Lagi siyang may food. Diba?
May dadagdag ako dyan. Sa RJ, hindi na baon ng pagkain. May masahista siya palagi habang naka-board work. Yung buong boot, amoy oil of winter green.
Amoy katingin ko.
Masahista na ang kasama.
Hindi, kasi sa RJ, medyo matanda na rin ng kaunti si Danee noon. Nananakit na yung mga buto niya. Mawala yung mga sakit-sakit sa likod.
Kasunod kami. By the time madulas yung club knobs.
Sabi ko sa inyo, si Danee Samonte ang may kasalanan ng lahat. Siya rin yata yung nagbinyag ng mga pangalan nila. Tama ba yun? Yung mga,
alam niya yun, kaya nagpakalbo
Alam niya nung
Andun pa si Danee.
nasa high school pa.
Steve O'Neal.
Nung high school ako. Yung BM ang may lakas ng loob, Howard, mag-Tagalog ng mga jingle, ng mga breaker, mga stingers. May Tagalog na salita yung ginagamit yata nila. Si Danee rin ba yun? Yung ano ibig sabihin ng BM? Big mouth? Hindi, butas medyas. May mga ganun yan.
Body massage.
Body massage. No? Yan yun.
During those days kasi, mga 70s, yun ang, nung nagsulputan yung mga massage clinic, yun yung diversyon. Pagkatapos mag-board, pare, kamusahin muna tayo.
Yun.
Sinabot ko yung masahe niya. Lumipat ako sa QL. Doon kami natutulog sa masaya kasi sign-on ako. Kasama ko si Joey De Leon, pare. Si Joey De Leon. Mahilig ko magmamasahe yan, pare.
Maharli ka pa nun, di pa malikaya.
Hindi pa malikaya, pare. Maharli ka pa.
Hinahatid ko si Joey De Leon, Ricky Manalo sa masahihan. Aztec. Kung Tomas mo ako. Kasi si Joey, hindi marunong mag-drive. So ako, tsaka sa Crown. Meron pa yan
sa Crown. Kaya sinabi niyo.
Doon ako nabangga pag-atras ko kasi umuulan, nagpahatid yung dalawa. Tapos even Ray Langit. Senator ba siya?
Buto hindi sila nagpapayong sa'yo hanggang sa loob, Marie.
Sama ko, minsan. One time, I was with them, Ray, Joey De Leon, and Ricky Manalo. So I said, hindi ako nagpapamasahe. Sabi niya, hindi matulog ka lang habang pinamasahe kami. Okay. So natulog ako. May pumasok na masahistang lalaki sa kwarto. Nakabuti ko. Pagsigaw ko. Even Joey to this day remembers that. Sigaw ako, lumabas yung tatlo. Nakatwalya. Tapos si Ray.
Mabuti, nakatwalya.
Oo, nakatwalya siya. Tapos yung wig niya, nakaganyan na. Oh my God. That was really OMG. Pero umalis yung lalaki. Sinabihan namin, wag eh. Pero that was really something. Joey, hindi pwedeng matulog sa gabi nang hindi mapapamasahe.
From Holy Spirit to massage parlor.
Naging classmate ko nga yan. Si Ricky Manalo.
Voice yung pinagkada ko eh.
Joey De Leon, si Berlonaria, yung mga tiga-ABS. Lahat yun. Doon kami natulog.
I have a question.
Lahat, doon kami matulog. Ganon.
I have a question. Yung mga unang kasama ko, Howard or unang kasama ko sa BM, because when I entered there, none of you guys were there yet. It was the old ones talaga. Buddy Go, Pia, si Sammy Pia, Pinky Ochoa, Noli Orbeta, nasa LM sila eh.
Ramon Duarte.
Ramon Duarte. No. Oh yeah, Ramon Duarte was there.
Oh.
Ramon, nagkita pa kami when he comes here eh. And then you guys started coming in, di ba? And then after me, ang second babae was, I think, Helen. Kasi, kasi ako yung unang girl na tinanggap, di ba? Hindi sila tumatanggap ng babae. Kasi nga, liligawan daw ng mga boys. Ayaw nung ni Don Manuel. Anyway, so it was,
si Don Manoling.
Don Manoling. I think,
nabanggit si Don
Manoling. Hindi, si Don Manoling wala na pala. I was at his wake.
Yeah, siya na una eh. Bago yung father ni Louie, si Don Manoling. The father of Filipino music. Yan eh.
Speak of Don Manoling.
Di ba? Yung mahiwaga. Yung mga
Speak of Don
Manoling.
Si Jun Santiago taught me very early in my DZBM experience. Jun Santiago taught me to go to Skolta. Ang tawag niya, taga. You have to make a letter na uutang ka, ganon.
Walang bayaran.
Yeah. Kailangan yun after office hours pag sarado na yung store. Tapos babasahin ni Manuling yung letter, no? Tapos dudukot sa bulsa, ganyan kalaki, ganyan kakapal yung cash. Bibilangan kang ganon. Wala na. Wala nang singilan yun. That's before martial law. Jun Santiago was the one who got me into that. Remember that? Ang ganda ng tawa. Jun. Kaya may utang na loob ako dyan nung bandang huli. Hindi, nung una pa rin. Palaging handong kami sa mga munlok. Di ba, Jun? Remember?
No, there is something that I remember that used to happen a lot in the olden days for DJs that is absent nowadays. And even during your time, I guess, yung initiation of sort, kawawa ka pag junior ka. Pag pumasok ka, remember, the older guys would know. Chito would know.
Yung tatanggalan ka ng karayom, tatanggalan ka ng
alam mo the first time that I did that was Danee Samonte was on the air because he used to come in 1 hour before me. I used to have a 9 to 12 slot on BM called the Motown Express, and he comes before me. And I would always tease him and say, Danee, diyan ka muna, malilate ako. And it always happened that way until one time he was on the air and then he was doing some ad-libs. I took out all the heads of the 3 turntables. I took them out slowly, and then I walked out of the booth. I went to Manresa. And then and we were listening to Danee. And then, ito yung
corned beef,
Danee was praying. He was reading the newspaper. I think he even sang. And then Ricky and Ricky Gonzalez. Yeah, Rico Gonzalez came over. Said, "Pare, maawa ka naman. Ako tumo, magaling na, galing ng mag-adlib, Ayun. So, and then it happened, and that was one of the things that we used to do to them. Newscasters, while reading the script, somebody would light the script from under, and the script would be on fire. It's gone. Those were the fun times. Maraming nawala pero that made
you.
that made a lot of good guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Tama yan. Oo. Ngayon kasi when yung tayo na yung later part na, wala nang ganun.
Wala na yun. I remember the first time I heard, because Vic Sata joined MB ahead of me, and the first thing that they told him to do is, bukas, pasok ka ng sign-on alas 5, naka-shirt and tie ka. Ha? Ano ka kung naka-shirt and tie? Magbebenta ka ba ng ano doon? Ano ka, ahente?
Short and tie?
Shirt and tie.
Akala ko short and tie.
So, and he did that. And it's part of a deal. And then they made him do a lot of things. It's part of the deal of getting into a station. Nawala na yun eh. Yun ang masasayang araw eh. Di ba?
Ako maswerte ako kahit na medyo sumunod ako sa inyo. Pero hindi ko naranasan yung mga ganun. They never did it to me because ayaw ko, kung takot sila pare. Masyado akong kahit.
Maghahamon ng suntukan eh.
Masyado akong kahit pare.
Si Mike, paripiling tahimik, maraming alam yun eh. Mike.
Si Mike palagi naka-plaid shirt, tapos maong, tapos boots.
Marami ring ginari yan ng mga DJ malamang eh.
Oo. Ay, hindi mo si Mike. Mabait si Mike.
Mabait.
Meron ako experience kay Mike. Sign on ako sa BM. Patugtog ako. Give me an F! Give me a U! Give me a C! Give me a K! What's that spell? Fuck! Eto si Mike, humihingal. Galit na galit. Didn't you know what that was? Sabi nga. Ang sarap nung umi-echo pa sa buong Give me an F! Give me a U! Give me a C! Give me a K! What's that spell? Fuck! What's the spell?
Pero ang hindi ko makalimutan sa doon sa Mareco, yung both LM and BM, yung carpet natin noon abaka di ba? Tapos walang vacuum cleaner. So every morning sign on ako eh. Ito na yung janitor. No? Wala sinong walis tingting.
Si Leo.
Grabe. Naka-board ka tapos parang may alikabok dun sa
Bukod doon, pag nakabukas yung mic mo, maririnig mo parang raster na.
Tapos, pagkatapos nun, dadating si Litz. Bakit ang dudumi ng mga plata?
Sa alikabok.
Where is she? What happened to her?
Litz is retired.
Litz is in America.
Talaga? Nasa America siya?
I read somewhere in our, She's
in Australia.
Yeah. She's in Australia, right.
Last time I saw her sa crossover pa Ronnie.
But she's here right now. Na ano raw siya sa pandemic
Na-lockdown.
Grounded siya rito. Lockdown siya rito.
Yes.
Nietzsche is here now. Si Lee, yung secretary natin nun, nasa Arizona ata. Or Virginia, I'm not sure. Pero sa US, yun si Didi.
Teka, I have a question. I have a question here. BM is probably the only radio station which had its own magazine.
Right.
Kaninong pakana naman yon?
Kay Danee.
Kay Danee na naman.
Si Tibo, may kasalanan yan.
Paano mo naman naisip yun?
Ano ba nauna, BM magazine o Burgis?
Burgis ang number 1
Burgis.
Jingle magazine.
It started Burgis.
Yeah, Burgis muna.
Tapos
jingle.
Bawal yung salitang Burgis. So we have to use BM magazine. Tinanggal na namin yung Burgis.
But that was a hit, no? Kasabay pa nun yung Jive 25 countdown, di ba?
Sabi ng Jive 25.
May question ako. Danee or whoever, Jun Santiago, ano nangyari kay Joe Solo?
Si Joe Solo, no? Yung palagi nakadilaw na, nakadilaw na ribbon.
Chito solo.
Ricky?
California.
Joe mag-isa yun eh. Kaya naging
Oh.
Joe solo sa akin.
Mag-isa.
Solo, di ba?
Hindi, si Danee
Diyos solo.
doon. Si
Si Danee
Danee.
na naman ang may kasama. Danee, magsalita ka naman. Nasa Joe solo.
Alam ni Danee.
Nakamute pa eh.
Ako.
Mute ba?
Nakamute si Danee.
Mute ka, Danee. Adjust your mic. You're muted.
Where are you, Danee? O yan.
Yeah, unmute yourself.
Mr. Steve O'Neill.
We can't hear you.
Nakamute oh.
Andali, tatawag ng assistants.
Ang taga-pindot.
Pindutin mo yung speaker na icon na may X.
Yun.
Gamit
Okay na.
Yan, okay.
Okay.
Chito Solo nasa Ohio pero namatay na.
Namatay na.
Ohio ba? Kala ko California.
God bless his soul.
Tinanong niya na rin lang si Joe Solo si Tita Bing.
Si Tita Bing.
Oo, no?
Si Tita.
Tagal na siguro.
Patay na.
Ha?
Patay na si Tita Bing. Matagal na.
Matandaan na yun eh.
Oo, matagal na matanda yun.
Meron na kwento kay Tita Bing, you know? Meron ng paboritong kanta doon sa BM, yung It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Biling yung beginning. Every time na papatugtugin ko yun, may bad trip yata si Bing Pura doon eh. Nagsusumbong kay Jun, pinapagalitan ako ni Jun every time I play this. Hindi ko makakalimutan yun.
Danee, hindi nahanap na ni JB.
Ha? Si Jun?
Hinahanap pa ni JB.
Mabuti lang hindi punta rito.
Hoy, baka nakikinig. Hello, JV.
Danee. Darling.
Ayun.
Hinahanap ka nga, Danee. Kausap ko lang siya kahapon eh. Iimbitahin ko nga sana eh. Kaya lang, sabi ni Rudy, pare, baka ayaw niya kasi baka yung mahirapan siyang mag-English.
Hindi naman.
Sabi ko kay Rudy, hindi pare, nag-English tayo.
Tagalog naman
pare. Si JV, kinausap ako ni Bing, sabi, kailangan niyang pera. So, pinautang ko. Naglabas ako ng pera, 200,000. Pagkatapos,
Bagyo, di ba?
Binigyan niya ako ng cheque. In 6 months. Di sabi ko, sige, okay lang. After 6 months, pare, sabi sa cheque, nung pahuto, 1 year na
close account, ban?
Closed account.
Oo. Close account, 1 year bago binigay sa akin ng cheque.
Saka dapat tinignan mo yung cheque, baka mareko pa.
Oo nga eh. lima lang yung phone number eh.
Sino nakapiro pa sa cheque?
May message dito, no?
Warning
Hi guys, this is Beth. This is so much fun. I'm learning about Bambi's past life.
Talaga.
Marami kasing undeclared, and all of you who were either his influences or whom he influenced, thanks for organizing this. It's a welcome break from his daily grind. I am amused sa inyong magkwento.
Sa ingat niyong magkwento, emphasize.
Meron pa ako ikikwento kay Bambi.
Ayun.
Patay na, Bambi.
Yung amuse na yan, baliktad yan.
Oo nga eh. I will abuse Bambi later.
Lalo na mainit ang ulo, alam niyo bakit? Kasi nag-second shot siya ng Pfizer the other day. Sama ng side effect. Kaya ngayon, dinadagdagan niyo pa. Masamang side effect sa akin mamaya yan.
Pare ako, hindi ako nagpabakuna. Ayoko ng bakuna.
Oo.
Naka-ivermectin ako pare. Kaya kung sino man sa inyo ang may gusto ng ivermectin.
Ahente.
Kung kayo pare.
Ako, cheat, ako.
Oo, pare. I'll give you.
Si Peter Molina, quiet lang. Meron nang kikwento kay Peter, no?
Yun.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, man.
9 to 12 ako gabi.
Was
9 to
I
12
late?
9 to 12 siya.
Don't
No,
tell
no,
Rudy.
you're not late. You were there. Tapos papasok na
Oh,
ako.
okay.
Shortly before he ended his program, sabi niya, Raffy, nakatingin ko ba ng Coke? Hindi pa.
Oh man, you're not supposed to talk about these things. There.
Kuha ka kanina.
Nag-iingat ka pa.
Sabi, kuha ka ng takip ng ballpen ng Bic. Kumuha ko. O, eto.
Wow.
Tara, baka tikating mapait eh. Tapos
Galing kay Ronnie yun. Galing kay Ronnie.
Sinundot pa namin ng, alam mo na, ganon. Ito experience ko.
Oh my God.
Ito experience ko. Within the 3-hour period, ang pakiramdam ko, 3 minutes lang, maya si Richard, pumupukpuk na doon sa salamin. Tinuturo yung relo. 3 o'clock.
Right.
Turn off na.
Oo, 3 o'clock na. Ang pakiramdam ko, 3 minutes pa lang. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Okay, man. Yeah. I'll expect a return of the favor when I see you, man. No, but anyway, you guys were asking about Joe Mag-isa. I actually was close to him. He passed away, unfortunately, on his birthday, which is September 23rd.
Wow.
2013.
Who's this?
Joe.
Joe Mag-isa.
Solo.
And he was solo. He was living in Cincinnati at that time. So he had remarried, and he had a daughter. I think he has a daughter with her. So that was 2003. I actually saw him a month before that, and I also gave him. We also used that big ball pen top at that time. So the Raffy was So he was a good guy. I actually miss the guy, just like I miss you guys. So
he's cool.
He loved Danee Samonte, of course.
Yeah, everybody loves Danee.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was really a good guy.
But Peter,
that's yes, sir.
Tell me, you were among the 4 of us classmates. You were the first one to get into radio. How'd you get into radio?
Okay. Here's what happened. I had remember Siegfried Sepulveda, one of our classmates, right?
Yeah.
Right. Who passed away. But anyway, he had a cousin or a relation, which Danee, what's his name? That. Yeah. Si Clarence. Clarence.
Si Clarence.
John Trippa.
Oh. That guy. Right. He was.
Totoong tao pala yun. Nababasa ko lang sa BM magazine.
I'll tell you.
Clarence Croco.
I remember Clarence.
Clarence, Mac Mahon. Yun ang pangalan niya talaga. Mac Mahon.
Danee actually gave him that name. As you already know, now Danee gives everybody a name. So, but anyway, so he said we were in Siegfried's house, and he said, "Hey, you want to come with me tomorrow, man? Well, what's up? I'm going to audition." It turns out he was going to audition at LM with Ross B. So I went with him. I came by, and Ross B had me read what was it? I think it was a sign-on script. Something, where you used to sign on and then they play the national anthem and all that stuff.
Right.
And I don't know what happened, but Ross B offered me the job to do the morning shift, which was from, I think, 5 in the morning.
5 to 8.
Rudy? And I did it because I really love music. So, and that's how it happened. And from there, Rudy actually got me into BM, where I met Chito. I think Chito was coming from a different station then, and he gave Rudy the sign of approval. Ditos was there. Ditos Diaz, if you remember.
DJ
Double DJ. Yeah. Morrie was there. Rudy was there. Chito was there. Chito was a mentor. I think at that time I was listening to Ronnie. The station was UW. They were with Emilio. Ronnie was Baby John, and
Baby
Mike
John.
was Sir Mikey. Right?
Sir Mikey, right?
Yeah.
1310.
Yeah, away we go with a 3 in a row, right? Something like that. So
DZUW
but
radio.
Radio.
Right. So Danee was there. Yeah. Danee was a mentor. These guys, Rudy was always nice. Jun Santiago was there. I think Jun started like 8 o'clock. He was the morning guy. I remember that with his Volkswagen. And it's interesting because Louis Villar also went to the same high school, and we realized. Well, I knew him from high school, and I didn't realize that they had a stake at this company, right, Mareco? So that was interesting. And then from there, Vitos got me to work at RJ. And right after I went to RJ, Alan Austria named me Peter St. John because he thought I was saint. So
He was wrong.
So he was wrong. He was definitely wrong. And then right after that, there was a merger. RJ bought UW.
Yep.
Remember this, Ronnie? Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Mike, I know Llamas was there.
Yeah. Mike Llamas.
Stony Brick.
Yep.
Stony Brick,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mike Llamas also was auditioning at the time I was auditioning at LM, but unfortunately he didn't make it, so he went to UW, and I got in. And that's a funny story. I don't know if you remember that, Rudy, when I was auditioning at LM. Mike too was trying to get in, but Crosby hired me. And then
I had
from,
the chance to work with
BS
Stony Brook at UW. I remember Stony Brook when he came
Right, so-
at that time.
Yeah, it was great. It was great fun because they merged UW and RJ, and then that's where I met Ronnie. Mike, I don't know where you were. You
Oh,
left.
they
You
did
went
that.
somewhere.
RT.
Mike Pedero. Yeah, you went to RT or something like that, right? You left UW at that time, right? During the merger and
I
that
joined
was a lot.
BM actually.
Oh, okay.
I actually
that was
joined
a lot of
BM.
fun.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I actually joined BM during
And then
that
what-
time after UW, and
I
then I
see.
stayed
got
at
you.
the BM for about 1.5 years, I think, or something like that, and then joined Emilio.
RT.
Right.
Yeah.
RT. And before, when I was at BM, before I went to RJ,
Thank you, Danee.
Chito was always like, because I was a kid, I was like 16 years old. He was always bringing me to these, drinking sprees. Inuman ba? With Ben Hernandez.
Ben Hernandez?
I remember
You were
growing
drinking
up,
with
yeah.
Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, si Chito.
Who doesn't? Who didn't anyway?
Yeah. And yeah. So it was a lot of the old timers. See Howard. Howard always looked the same. I don't know.
Pare old timer ka
what's
daw.
wrong with this guy. So but anyway. Yeah, so Chito has been around. Chito is like, no, she just looks the same, but this guy's old, man. He's been around for a while. He's in the yeah, he knows a lot of these old folks. But anyway, so then I went to RJ, and then the merge was there. I met Ronnie. It was great fun. That was a lot of. I learned about the big ball pen top there, Raffy. A lot more of that stuff. And then they had the Pinoy rock and rhythm, all that kind of stuff. And then UW got merged with RJ, and then Rudy talked me into. I think there was a question regarding names of real names being used in radio at that time. The Manny Carvajal, Ronnie Quintos. These guys sounded great on the radio. They're good looking, right? Yeah, Sonia Basa. But they wanted to change that. They wanted to change the format and get some young bloods in there and do some this new programming. So Rudy, correct me if I'm wrong, got me in because Ronnie Quintos wanted to add 2 young guys there. And I loved it because it was close to Tondo, man. So Ronnie and Jake Taylor would come in their vehicles, and we can get a runner to go to Tondo and get some goodies, man. So perfect. Yeah. So most of that Dyna money went there. So, there was the Radio Patrol with Bar Samson on the, you can see them on the other side. They were talking about all these drug busts and all that. We were high in our.
you were busting the drugs while they were talking about the drug busts.
It's unbelievable, man. So, but after that, I went back to RJ. So Alan said, "Okay, you're not happy there. You're just gonna kill yourself. Let's do this. Go back to RJ." And then Andy, I was there for about a year or so. And then Andy,
Andy
KFM with Wayne.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He was offered this opportunity at KBS to start an FM, album cuts, CPI records. So I joined them. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. WKFM. And that's a lot of fun. A lot of
a bit of history, guys.
Make a smile from me. That's the whole story there. And then I think towards the end there, I left and then joined BM again with Rudy, and then I decided if I go ahead with this, I'm probably gonna be gone and be dead at that point because I was just throwing everything away. So I left, and here I am, guys. I'm alive and well. Nice to see you.
Nice.
I still have a big ball pen here.
Oh, yeah. We have
yeah, you do.
15 minutes left.
You can,
Just want to thank some people.
Yeah, Rudy.
First, I want to thank Howard for blocking me from DZME.
ME, yeah, right. ME. Yeah.
You were at ME, Rudy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at ME.
Roosevelt.
Oh, that's the one in Roosevelt.
May sampayan. Yan,
Yeah. And then Howard tipped me off that there was an opening in BM. So I applied ako, and I got in. I also want to thank Morrie Gutierrez, because she helped me get the break of being the program director. Yeah, I think there was this guy, I forgot his name, Philip
Dafon.
Philip Dafon.
Dafon. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he was having a hard time handling the production. So he asked us to produce our individual promos. Kaya lang, parang nagandahan siya, so hindi niya nilabas. Now, one night, pinatuktok ko to while I was having my show. And I didn't know that Jun Villar was tuned in his car. And he asked,
with the date.
Sino naman yung promo na? And then Morrie Gutierrez said, Rudy. And then that next day,
Philip got fired.
That's a Philip.
The next thing he made Philip
take over the programming. So I want to thank you, Howard and Morrie Gutierrez. Right. Of course.
Rudy, I want to remind Rudy about a story that happened with us. When Rudy, you were our boss in DZBM, and we all got together to talk about how to influence the management about giving us raises. Well, we talked about it for a while, but somehow I believe Jun Villar found out about it. And then he called a company meeting. I don't know if you remember this, Rudy, but he called the company meeting and all the DJs that were there on the lawn in front of the studio. And then we were surrounded by Jun Villar's
bodyguards.
Bodyguards, exactly. And they all had guns. Sabi ni Jun,
collective bargaining agreement.
He said, you better agree to stop this bullshit or we're going to shoot you and cover you with LPs and saying that we shot you stealing LPs. And I was thinking, what LP am I willing to steal to be shot for? But I don't know if you remember those days, Rudy.
Here's
Yeah,
a bit.
that's a long time
Here's a
ago.
bit. Here's a bit of history. You guys have been talking about UW. I started with a station called DZBM, which was the forerunner, the first call letters of UW.
Is that a Sinatra station?
Yes. DZBM was the pop station of RBS. They had 3 stations. They had DZBB, DZXX, which was the Frank Sinatra station.
Oh, okay.
And DZBF was a pop station. And eventually, when Jody Stewart came back home from his schooling in Australia, along with Emilio and I think Andre Khan, and they got together, and eventually they got Double F and turned it into UW. That was a history of UW. So DZBF 1310 became DZUW 1310 AM.
Right.
That's where Mike started, right, Mike?
History.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that was DZUW is actually patterned after 2UW in Sydney.
In Australia.
In Australia,
right?
right. Yeah, right.
Because Australian radio starts with numbers 3XY,
Yeah, right.
2, whatever. Yeah.
And then here's another bit of history. If you guys are wondering, how did Long Tall Howard get into radio? I used to be in a band called the Bits and Pieces.
Yep.
And we had a TV show on Channel 7 once a week. Jody came back from schooling in Australia, and we became close. And one time he would call me during the daytime. Are you doing anything? Nah. Come on over to the studio, and we'd go up to the station, DZBF, and send away the guy on the air to have merienda. Go down and have some snacks, and him and I would go on the air. And we used to do that quite frequently. It became more frequent. And then until one time, the H&R, the H&R guy comes up and says, Howard, sign here. What's that? He said, you're a DJ already. Where? Oh, on DZBF. So why? And it's just so that Jody, your show can be shared with Jody. Jody can come in anytime on your show. That's how I got into radio, by accident.
This guy had it easy, huh?
Yeah. But we used to go on the air already before that. I mean, just barge into the station, walk into the guy, get down, come on, have a snack downstairs, and Jody and I would go on the air. I miss Jody. Here's the sad news. I was with RJ in the latter part on RJ FM, and I met Jody one time. A guy taps my back and say, "Hui," and I look around and I see this old rundown guy, long hair, dirty looking. It was Jody Stewart. For God's sake, I got shocked. That was the last time I saw him. The last time I heard about it is he died. So it's a sad story, but I love that guy. You know,
that's history, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's rock and roll.
And I remember when UW was being set up. I even went to the station in along the street in Pasay, where the first station was, Mike. Right? I went there and visited you guys. I visited Ebyong, and nothing happened. So in other words, I wasn't offered anything. I said goodbye. I wasn't part of the deal anyway. So I just wanted to see what they were doing, because my station went into dust, and they turned it to UW.
I got into radio by accident. I was not interested in radio, but when I graduated high school at American School in Makati, one of my friends came to me and said, "Morrie, you're my best friend. I need you to help me get into radio." I said, "I'm really not interested." He said, "No, they're having auditions at DZLM." I said, "Well, that's the Reddy Clomo station." Reddy Colomo station. I'm not interested in that music. He said, no. All I ever want to do is become a disc jockey. So I said, well, I'll accompany you. So we went to San Francisco Del Monte. We went in, and my friend, I think it was, he auditioned with June, and then he came out. He said, I think I got the job. I said, good, let's go. He said, no, they're waiting for one more applicant, and you're the last one. I said, I'm not an applicant. And he said, no, I told them that you're the one who's going to apply, the last one. So because you don't want the job, you can audition, you won't get it, and then I'll have it. So I said, that's a good idea. It's not a really good idea. So what happened was they took me in the station, sat me down in the booth, put the headphones, adjusted the mic, put a stack of 45s, remember? And then they gave me the sign, go, parang they're recording it. So I really didn't, I kind of blanked out. Parang I didn't know why I was there. What am I doing? How do I do this? So I just thought back to when I was a young boy living in the Presidio of San Francisco. My dad was an army man. And sometimes I would sneak into my mom's bedroom and turn on, she had a big radio, big, Zenith, many channels. And then I would pick up the AM bounce from Los Angeles. AM sometimes can get lost at, 100 miles, but 200 miles you can pick it up. But it's strange.
Yeah.
So I would listen to the real Don Steele.
Oh.
Machine Gun
KHJ.
Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly, yeah.
Brother Harv, all those classics. So I said, well, what if I don't really care for this job. I'll just make bola. I'll just riff on it. So I started doing the stuff that I remember as a kid. 10 minutes later, June Vidyar came in, shook my hand, said, you're the best one we've ever auditioned. When can you start? And my first thought was, what about my friend who wants to be a DJ? That's all he ever wanted to be. Me, I don't really want the job. I got it. And now my other friend who brought me there, that's his whole life. He would practice in front of the mirror to become a DJ. And then I got it, and then he didn't get it. So that's how my career in radio started. I took the exam for UP, passed it, and then I had a job in the morning, sign on at DZLM. So I woke up in the morning, rode my motorcycle from Nara dorm in UP down to the Pantranco station on Quezon Boulevard, because at that time it was like 4:30. They would have egg pie and coffee. I have that every day, egg pie and coffee. Even today, I can't stand egg pie. Can't stand it. So, and then I would go to LM, and then choose my records, go on as the sun was coming up, and started playing music I shouldn't have been playing at that time. I was playing Led Zeppelin, 12 o'clock in the morning. But those are the days, and that's, how I got into radio with LM, and then I got out to DZUW, and then DZBM. And by the time I was finishing, I was graduating from college already. So I spent 5 years working to finish my degree. And then after that, went to the States and did not come back for, I think, 45 years. I spent 6 years as a associate lecturer, a teacher at Howard University.
That's my school.
That's your school. Howard. Well, there's a picture of Long Tall Howard.
There's a
Tabi ng Howard Bakery yan eh.
Anyway, I want to thank everyone there who I know and worked with over the years. You're wonderful, wonderful people. DJs are the best people on the world. And I thank you. Maraming salamat.
Very nice.
If you guys don't mind, here I have a little bit of history here. I don't know if Mike knows this, but he'll remember. In the early days before UW, when Jody and Emilio Tuason came back home to the Philippines after schooling in Australia, they put up a band called Jody and the Bottles. And that was the time when I was coaching them, because I was with the Bits and Pieces. And in Jody and the Bottles was composed of Emilio Tuason, Jody Stewart, Andre Can, if I can recall right, and somebody else. Ramon Nieto, who is, I think, now the chairman of Phil's Comsat. So those were the four guys that had a band. And all the while, I thought they were going to go on the air on UW. So, but it turned out to be otherwise. But UW turned out fine.
Yep.
Well, let me just
No, actually,
Playing a good part.
actually, Howard.
My
Actually,
first,
Howard,
my
what-
first,
yes.
my first try at getting into radio was UW. I went there and I saw Baby John. O sabi ko, wow, kilala ko to nung ano ko, nung elementary. I tried that night. Ako sinabi niya, sige, I'll take your phone number. And then, well, you know, I gave him my phone number, which probably ended in the trash can the minute I walked out the door. And, you know, I didn't make it. I tried a number of times again, and then I finally got into UW. But the real break was really BM. Peter gave me a call. Peter Molina, I think.
Oh, I did. Oh man, that's
Yes,
great.
you did. Upon instructions of Rudy. And then you told me,
Oh, okay.
we're thinking
Wow.
of getting somebody here in BM. You know, and then you gave me the whole
the break,
you know, routine.
The bad story, right?
Trying to get it
About June
in.
Villar and all
And then
that.
I ended up saying, no, the thing was, I said something like, okay, I'll think about it. And then you said something like, what the?
Oh, did I say that? Oh, man.
What is there to think about? Of course, I was there.
Yeah,
the next
really.
day.
Yeah, that's,
And
yeah,
then,
but Mike was gonna say something, Ricky,
Yes.
about UW.
Yeah,
I'm
Mike.
curious
About yes,
UW.
yes.
Ricky.
Yes, Emilio, Jody Stewart, Ramon Nieto.
Andre Can.
He passed on. Yeah, he actually passed on. No, Andre was not part of the band. Dado Godinez, I think, was
Dado
with them
Godinez.
also.
Oh,
So,
my
plus,
God.
there's
Dado
actually
Godinez,
two other guys. But anyway, they actually pressed a 45, which we used to play at UW. And it was really so bad.
Don't blame it on me.
Yeah, but
That can be
what
worse than
happened
Ronnie
was-
Villar and the Fire Dog.
The flaming fire dons.
Yeah. But it was okay. I mean, you know, after playing it, more often, and every time it's requested by Emilio and the guys, you know, for us to play it on the air, it kind of sounded good already. To a
Started
certain
growing
extent. But they
on
had
you.
one. Yeah, they actually had 145. I just can't remember the song,
Title.
and I can't remember the flip side also as well. But it's not Jody and the Bottles. It's another one. It's I'll think about it. That's my story.
Yeah, because you're right. It was originally Jody, Emilio Tuason, Dado Godinez, and Monieto. That was the original four. And then they formed a new band, became six, I guess. I forgot the name of that group too.
Yes, that's the one. Right.
Okay.
So Ronnie, how'd you get in UW, Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie. Do you remember? Do you remember the first name ever of Ronnie on radio?
Baby John.
No,
Baby John.
no.
Really?
Ringo, DZRJ, the Boss Radio. Right, Ron?
Yeah, Alan gave me that name.
Yeah.
Ringo's Rock Machine. Were you the one?
We were still at
No,
Jackson.
just Ringo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hated it
Ringo.
too.
Hey, Peewee Altorres says hi.
Yeah, Al
Al
Torres.
Torres.
Yeah, he's in
And-
Canada.
And hi there, Wing
Yeah,
Wing
Al Torres is
Bustamante.
about-
Hello.
He lives 25 minutes away from me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Al.
Oh, yeah, Al, right, yeah.
Yeah, I applied. I auditioned at RJ in 1968, and there was no slot available. And Alan said, "Well, we don't have a slot available." And then one early one evening he called and said, "Do you still want to be a DJ?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And okay, I have a slot for you. You know, what time? At midnight. When? Tonight. Really? Can you make it? Sure. This was in Escolta. So, okay, I'll be there at midnight to go on the air. You'll do graveyard 12 midnight to 3, sign off. Sure. So I go there, and I went on the air at 12 midnight April Fool's Day, April 1 of 1968. Yeah, so it was a joke. So, and then after that, all right, you got the slot, you got the job. Okay, who did I replace? LBJ, my idol.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, something went wrong with RJ and LBJ, and he didn't want to go on the air anymore. And LBJ had the 12 to 3 slot, so I took over that. So that was April 1st of 1968, and then come November of the same year, guess who comes knocking at the door at 12 midnight? Jody Stewart. He says, we're putting up a radio station. It's called DZUW 1310, and we want to hire you as a DJ. I says, yeah. Well, what are you offering? This is, how much are you receiving at DZRJ? And I said 180 pesos. And okay, we'll offer you 250 pesos and to switch to DZUW. I said, hey, yeah, why not? Okay, my partner wants to meet you, Emilio Tuason. So I'll come pick you up tomorrow. And then I said, do you know where I live? And then Jody said, yeah, I know where you live, number 9 Basilan, Film Life Homes. Wow, you guys did research. So the next day he picks me up and brings me to Channel 7, and there's Emilio. I get to meet Emilio. Okay, when can you start working with us? Well, I have to resign first. So go ahead and resign, he says, and then come work with us. And then Emilio was very interested in production, in doing recordings, doing jingles, and doing stuff like that. And so was I with RJ. The splicing days when everything was being spliced, diba?
Sure,
Dub edit, splicing. So Emilio was into that too. So we got along very well. And there you go. So by December, I was in DZUW 1310 as Baby John. Because there was this guy, there was this DJ in Australia that they coined the station after, which is 2UW. And there was a guy named John Burgess. He called himself Baby John. I said, I like that name. Do you think I can use that? Yeah, you're going to be Baby John, Emilio said. Sure. There it was. So from then on, I was Baby John of DZUW, and it was album oriented. So it was a mix of everything. It was a great format, and it was a great format. Loved it, and we were the first ones to play Led Zeppelin. We were the first ones to play. This was funny. RJ was a competitor, and I came from there. And RJ was playing Sly and the Family Stone on a 45. They were playing. They made it a family affair. On the B side, Sing a Simple Song. And we started playing Sing a Simple Song. And it seemed RJ didn't know it was on the B side. And we made it a hit. And from then on, it was a clash. So on the AM at that time, the classiest radio stations were RJ and UW.
Right.
The funny part was UW had the better jingles because Emilio tapped into what was that recording company? What was that jingle company? Pepper and Tanner.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun and excitement. Yeah, and then we were the first ones to started sound logos on the air. You know, there was no vocals. It was all sound, and everybody knew that they were listening to DZUW. And that was the start. That was Emilio's idea. Emilio was very creative with regards to that. He had crazy ideas, and I was crazy too. So we had a lot of fun. Mike was into a lot of production. Mike ended up being a producer, a composer, and stuff like that. You know, and then Andre came along. And then something happened, and all of a sudden it was up for sale, and RJ bought it. And man, I was backing RJ. So that was a tough move, you know. I left RJ on a bad note, and I came back on a positive note because they hired the whole staff. That was with Stony Burke. Bob Magoo was still the Pink Tomato. Bob Magoo, he wasn't Bob Magoo yet. He was still the Pink Tomato. And then we had a bunch of Americans that we got from IS.
Hoagie, right, was there?
Hoagie was already in RJ. Hoagie was already in RJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Hoagie,
Bulok? Remember Bulok?
Si Bulok.
Yeah, Big Freak, man.
The Big Freak, yeah. The Big Freak, yeah, was in RJ. It was UW.
Was RJ?
Big Freak. On board UW at that time to transfer
Yamas,
to RJ
right?
was si
Yamas.
si Bob Magoo, si Bob Posas, si Wayne Yanahe, si Brother Wayne.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He wasn't Brother Wayne yet. He was
Walloping Wayne.
Walloping Wayne, yeah.
Walloping Wayne pa siya noon. Before that, the person who introduced me to Walloping Wayne was Susie Q, si Jess Martinez. Remember Jess from Philam?
Yeah.
We all lived in Philam.
Philam Life, yeah.
Yeah, si Jess, ang sister niya, also sang for The Bad Habits along with Jackie Magno.
Yep.
Remember?
Ramon Vicin.
Sila Ramon Vicin. So si Wayne also lived in Philam. So him and Jess were friends.
Right.
So Jess introduced me to Wayne. He wanted to be a DJ. Okay, all right. And he got along with Charlie, my uncle Emil, and we took in Wayne too. So by the time it was acquired by RJ, everybody was on board to RJ, but everybody was doing UW except me. I was doing UW and I was doing RJ. Also, that's when I met the classiest guy on radio, which is Peter Molina.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that guy's got a lot of class, man.
You're the classic guy.
I gotta thank you, Ronnie. For hiring me at UW after DZLM because the change from DZUW to UW from LM to UW was just a complete change. When I finally went to start that job at the graveyard shift, you and Baby John set a standard for real knowledge of music and real knowledge of professionalism. Of course, I was stoned most of the time, but
that was professionalism. That was professionalism then.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The difference from having to play 45s on rotation on the hour, playing hits, and then going to UW and being able to play cuts in records that we never printed at Morocco, it was a revelation for me, and I can't thank you enough for that. You know, eventually I went back to AM DZBM, but you know what? My time at DZUW were very, very fond years because the music for me was king at that time. and you guys had the best library, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was fun because everybody was doing the single. Everybody was doing the single. For example, Hush was the single, but we would play River Deep, Mountain High, things like that. That was the fun part. And Good Times, Bad Times, Led Zeppelin was the single, but we would play something else. How many more times? You know?
Right.
And that's the birth of album-oriented radio, I guess.
Right. But looking back, I think part of the magic there was there was no limitation on the playlist. Remember Morocco had a limit on what you can play because of their vested interest in their labels, right? And I understand that part. So with RJ and UW, I know this is a BM thing, so I'm not knocking anybody, right? So there was no limitation as far as playlist. So that was the beauty of it. But we were so poor and so stoned out, and it was a lot of fun.
So poor yet so happy.
And then we all ended up going to BM anyway, right? So,
yeah.
Hey,
I think that was the key.
gentlemen, I hate to break this up, but we've gone about 16 minutes overtime already.
Really?
Yep.
Gotta do this again.
Just like what Raffy said. Time flies so fast, 3 minutes lang. Can we do a
ballpen ngayon?
Can we do this again?
Yeah, can we do a part 2?
2 weeks.
Next
2
week?
weeks. 2 weeks.
Can we do this next week? Who's available next week?
No, 2 weeks.
It's great, guys. Just send
The week
out
after.
The invite. It's great.
The further
I'll be
away,
here.
the better.
I'll be
because I
there.
might have
Yeah,
to
this is
go
like
to-
going to church.
Yeah.
Yeah, July 24. If you guys are free, we'd like to invite you right now to join us on the 24th.
24th.
Okay, just remind us.
There are so many stories.
Yeah, we
to
have
be
a
shared.
chat room anyway, so let's continue with the chat room. All these things that happened, the anecdotes, you guys are grateful to somebody. It all boils down to one thing. We're all grateful to Rudy Velez for bringing this together, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He was the
Oh yeah,
boss.
these guys are hard to beat. Thank you. Yeah.
Tough job just to bring everyone together, and I marvel at your tenacity for
And
doing
me
that.
to Jun Santiago. He was the one who took me in.
Where's Alex? I didn't see
Yeah.
Alex around.
Alex,
yeah.
They ran the 24/7 chat room of DZBM.
Reggie Francisco.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, well,
I promised
What I call it, Reggie.
Reggie, yeah.
Reggie
And
please.
Juana Johnny.
Yeah, well, Anthony. Where's
Yeah,
Anthony?
Anthony
Wala,
Yeah, something.
Anthony's in London. I had
Early morning kasi sa England eh.
England.
When he came
Yeah.
back, I had lunch with Tony Lorente in Makati, and all we talked about was about you guys. And
Really,
how much,
Yeah.
how much you
Nice.
love each and every one, not physically, but he loved you as brothers, and that he went back to England. But when I saw him, he started talking in an upper class English accent. Rather,
Was he wearing
Eat-
sandals? Still? Was he
Eton
wearing a
accent,
sandal?
huh?
Yeah.
no, he still had his bigote. Had a bigote.
Mhm.
But
And his coffee.
he really loved his time.
Mhm.
with
He's
the
now
state.
known as Lord Buana.
Lord Juan.
It's still
Okay.
very guapo.
Right.
going back in what we've been doing, listening to you guys, it brings me back good memories of radio. And this is one thing I can say about what you guys did during your lifespan on radio. UW, RJ, BM. These are three pop radio stations. If the Filipino would be asked, what do you think about this station? Social. Okay? These three stations were enjoyable to be with. Of course, let's not forget there were other stations too, that the pop stations that were so-called commercial radio stations, pop stations that made history too. And it's funny because I have a lot of stories after that. After what happened to us on these stations, there were news stories that happened on FM with the older guys. I mean, talking about Ronnie Quintos, you name it, they were all together on RJFM that's another story. Maybe next time.
Yeah,
Part two.
24th.
And there's this thing, Howard.
That's why.
And Howard, you have to gather everybody who bolted out of BM and set up WKW. Some of you are here right
no,
now, and then
they didn't bolt out. We pirated them.
oh, good.
That's better.
Howard, so you started with Eddie Ilarde, right, Howard?
What do you mean? No.
Silence.
He was,
It's funny.
he was,
Peter,
he was
Di ba paingyabot?
Who is Cesar?
paingyabot,
It's
di
funny
ba?
because
Paingyabot.
one time I was listening to.
I know, Lila Benitez, right?
I was listening to FM one time, and I heard a familiar voice. It was Chito Paredes, and I kept on tuned. I stayed
Are you
tuned to
sure
the
it's not
station.
Chito Rimando?
This was 2000. This was 2000 or 1998 or 2000 something, and I heard the voice, and then I kept on listening. I heard Manny Carvajal. I heard Eddie Mercado. I even heard Bong Lapira.
Bong Lapira, yeah.
Yeah, big names of the two stations of MB and WS. They put these things together, and the boss was Ronnie Quintos was the production guy, and Naldi Castro was the guy in marketing and operations. And the next thing I know, they called me up and says, let's have coffee. And eventually I wound up as the production guy because Ronnie Q had to go. And you imagine my situation there. I was bossing it over my seniors who've been in radio, and I was still in short pants.
Right.
Mhm.
And then the second part of the story is, in 2003, Danee Samonte and I got together because we wanted to operate 105.9, which was off the air. And we went back on the air. This is the new story. Ricky Dizon didn't want to join us, but we got Peewee, we got Hillbilly Willie, Bobby Ante, we got Alex.
And you pirated Rudy, what's his name? Sa RJ? The sign-on guy? The one from White Plains?
Wow.
Rudolph.
Anyway.
Rudolph Rivera.
Rudolph.
I got into
Yes,
trouble
Rudolph.
for that, you know.
Yeah, right. Rudolph. And so it's just another story. Maybe in the future it'll come up. These are nice stories. History. Radio
Okay.
history.
Double check on the click clock. It's
DJ the DJ.
12:21.
Bigla nag-adlib eh, no? Pero lahat, alam nyo, all of us are survivors. All who went
Yeah.
because of that big transmitter. Takot na takot ako doon. I feel like I'm gonna be stuck. You know those big tubes na umiilaw sa loob?
Yeah.
When I go into the...
Hey, what happened to Terry Bondo? Is he
He's still
He's
transmitting?
okay. But I heard
Yeah,
that,
he's still doing okay. Hinahabol pa rin siya ng kidlat.
I heard that his son passed from COVID.
Uh-huh.
Oh, shoot.
Terry still keeps in touch.
Terry,
Louis Villar.
Yeah, he's still
Louis okay.
he's still
Louis
a
is okay,
consultant.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Louis is okay.
I was made to understand si Terry is still the consultant for the DZBM or DWBM transmitters.
Yep.
Up to now. Siya pa rin yung
Yes.
parang-
Correct. That's right, Mike. It's still Terry.
He refuses to rest.
No, yeah, he's gonna get sick. He's gonna get sick if he rests.
The
He's always there.
Kakasakit yun.
The Villars refused to let him rest. 'Cause, you know, he's the best one they got.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's really loyal to the Villars.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's cut this off before we
Yeah,
we'll see
before we don't
we'll see you
end,
on the
right?
24th. Of course, our viewers can look forward to that. Bob, any parting words before anything else?
Oh, we have to thank the sock provider of our show.
Yeah. BioFresh socks.
BioFresh socks.
And of course, our T-shirt provider. This one, Boomer's Banquet T-shirt.
You got a copy of that?
Yeah. Boomer's
Design
Banquet
Makati.
T-shirt. Design Makati. And they also provided us with face masks. That's it. Right.
To hide from.
To hide our faces. To hide our faces.
Right.
Okay, we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, guys.
24th
Thank you,
July.
gentlemen.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
gentlemen.
And T2.
Here's to the big
See you guys.
74. Good night.
See you.
God bless.
See you again.
Power on.
See you, Mike.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Right,
Bye.
Rudy, June. Bye, guys.
Ingat, ingat.